rusting control panel with loose wires dangling out from the hole where this panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But then you pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks again. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind. Nothing happens. Nothing happened. A spring brings the lever back. Wasn't there a sign over there saying function? You pull the... Nothing happens. A spring bring... Wasn't there a... A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light, this would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
700 real. A bargain, I dare say. There's also the matter of rewiring. But the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago. It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. Or try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in a blink.
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago. Yes, buy something nice. A figurine. This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers. Revolution. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. Maybe.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
Which ones? Ah, royalist soldiers from the time of the Revolution. The uniforms are painted a bit too brightly, I suppose.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-travelled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres. Even though it's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travellers, people looking. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Another time, perhaps. Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly...
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
Of course. Sure thing. She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit. Truth be told, she was terrified.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez.
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
Yeah, it's not good. I do hope we manage to clean this mess up somehow, while also keeping our...
This mess, he means your mess.
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Sure, man.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for...
It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with these things on your...
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Sirai's. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool, UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work. Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster. Giant, hidden, and yes. But they also make your soul quiver like jello. So deep.
Wow, officer. You look so cool. And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you...
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
A man who knows his style. Much respect.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of straight.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your...
Save the economy? That sounds off.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco. Very cool. The economy thanks you, officer.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
Something cold raises your hand. Synthetic and sleek, a windbreaker. Surf, it says.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $450 for you, sir. Gotta prepare for springtime, right?
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking, the name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are cool. The customer, you're very cool. Bang, 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 bang.
You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout brewing.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here or just a shakedown? Of course, I'll come quietly. But perhaps I could convince you to arrest some of my wares, officer. With your money, maybe?
Hello again. How can I help you? Sure. I'm not purchasing any more club another time.
Yes?
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
from another planet. Hey there. It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch.
So tell me, what do you need? Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of foul cargo. Mostly sporting goods, tracksuits, and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his.
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff. The man taps his fingers.
Don't be a stranger.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air. With the aid of a silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest even by the standards of the Philippian kings. Old sumptuous Philip, well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers. The suzerain of his own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy. On the Insulindian East, Philip III's ludicrous bronze likeness looks defiant. The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in the photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your... No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
Right to work!
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Rights of people, rights of workers to have gainful employment.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from...
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scab.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
The physically impressive Mantower has turned his attention back to the gates.
Honest men and women, with rights, to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leader?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given!
Scab?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money." Speaking of, what brings the RCM here, to the wild north? Come to see the strife? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage.
Beneath the jolliness, he suddenly seems that if it's all so simple, why don't the strikebreakers just go up the stairs?
I walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him, then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a physical comfort, or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible. Sure. You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 3. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination. The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals...
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it... You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so... Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the...
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real. Here you go.
small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. Their logo is the bloodless rose.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
A colourful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles there, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol,
Guess not, no. I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health, but I guess you already know that. Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
The story goes that normal Fritta, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Fritta Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had to add an...
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it. It's not for sale.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
Yeah, they're kind of boring, but, you know. Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but, I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so... Not really. No. I didn't know him at all.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay. Uh-huh.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy... The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and a book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular...
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger. That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. They are begging for help, attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostats. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent, you will be superseded.
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor. Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of it. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside,
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshahed's race theory. He would take you as one of his own. Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist.
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital. Something also to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race.
He looks toward the harbor, motionless. The tattoos on his...
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt. Your silence betrays your inferiority. You do not have a reply. You should enter a deep race slumber. Perhaps in 4,000 years, there is need for a servile homunculus.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand, and he's...
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk. Say it. I am a...
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple. Pain shoots up into your...
The words to the song have changed.
You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm. You're very, very bad. This is the end. All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark. You don't even see her. Cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. A Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever.
Body betrays.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrayed.
Your body continues to betray your degeneracy. That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to all. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for you you will be superseded. Isn't that?
It is, baby, yeah.
There is a button right behind it, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor. Enough with this begging. You should bring your troop to war.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could well, not as such. What you do with them, ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff. Yes, better not to expand your mind in this direction. You may find out too much about the mystery. Fly too close to the race sun.
Racist. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the drug correct. Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital. Something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs? offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race. The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the We are the future. That is all. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulembuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminoles women good.
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
There always is.
Race is reality. Don't be vulgar. White or not, Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will also. To serve is noble.
He looks toward the harbor.
I think this racist is better than the...
That will be the...
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits, a protruding occiput, and an indent.
The lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. Don't be vulgar. Mr. Clare also. To serve, jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas? Of course it does. You are a degenerate individual. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race. I can see that. The Seminoles are the South. We are the future. I am a descendant. No. I have heard about it on the radio. Yes.
This could have made him more open to discussing the race enigma with you.
Rassi, I am not like them. I am cranium correct. Don't be vulgar. Mr. Clare also. To serve, of course you are. Revacholian man. The failure of above all. Rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, stop explaining yourself. No one cares about your beliefs. The conversation has moved on. Tell me, what degenerate subculture? Rock and roll is moribund. Only Koikos listen to it anymore. There is no life. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side. What you need is to come to terms with extinction and never get it. Don't be vulgar. White or Mr. Clare also. To serve is noble, of course, above all. Rampant, stop explaining yourself. No one offshoot. I am not surprised.
Measure head, stoic. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. So cool. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Baye. Badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights. Yeah, you know. Beneath it is just heartbreak. A pulmonary tract infection. Atherosclerotic disease. This is where you say action and reconceptualize. This is the beginning of your legend. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
Your race descent has...
Yes?
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything from clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it. The contemporary period stands still. The fated carousel of progress that doomed the royalists is itself winding.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window, 130. Like what? I was really enjoying talking about the money you owe me. Absolutely out of the question.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad, your body is ready, sire.
Mine? No, it belongs to the whirling in rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you...
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the...
Well, yes. Us and...
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
What do you need them for?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please. thing. What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest, and they come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're
We should find out who this loud faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here to...
Yes?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the... The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the... You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Suliswa.
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to someone who owns a radio computer? My guess is as good as...
Which is to say, not very good. The worker, isn't it? Perhaps he's on his way to where you just came from. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind. You probably need them more.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer. And have you found anyone to be sweet to? I'm sorry if I was being overly familiar. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same slips. Not quite. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside. We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine set. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. It's empty like a beehive without its brood.
This is where the memory should go.
A thick layer of coal dust. This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry. Different blues and greens. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken sea fort. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains, its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind. This is a wall on the side of an apartment building. You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinez, weather-worn, cracked.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat? Pigs come to take me out? Trying to snuff me out? Then why are you sneaking up on me like that? It's not a good idea to scare me, pig.
Hey, up here, Piggo. The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. Ask away, pigman, but I don't promise to answer. Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aerial graffiti. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come.
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the building. The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon whore. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore.
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is...
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch your back, Ungulate.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid with a well-oiled crack. The lock pops. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your... The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. A box falls into pieces in your hands. A tea soleil cereal. There are plastic. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye as the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage.
The victim's clothes? Cadaver in odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they will drop them in here, officer. Guitar-marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there?
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light up.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks...
See? Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loot.
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. Only in its social sensibility. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Nothing. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes.
Officer, is that your paperwork? It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? Officer, this is an official piece of paperwork. It probably contains notes on numerous ongoing investigations and could even list undercover operatives, informants.
Easier said than done. How could this pathetic cabbage of copy paper and plastic ever become très disco?
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read the paperwork.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal... Right. What more do you need? A rubber condom stuck to the back, A graffito that says, below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. The trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those. Thank you anyway.
Yes?
Vigilance officer.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname. The faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sand. They look pretty ancient.
Where? There? Those are old. These bullets were fired during the Revolution, over half a century ago. They do not warrant investigation. We should focus on present crimes, from the present.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with...
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines Group. Everything. right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild...
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-metre-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first...
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union.
This isn't the first time the union has got...
Heavens, no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say? Every worker, a member of the board. In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines Group makes a decision about what? About anything, really, it needs the SIG. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me mañana.
This checks out.
Of course. Of course, Detective.
Some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. Feelings will guide the way.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible. Trust me, officer, I am fully committed to resolving this impasse. This isn't some side gig for me.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
Officer. You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting it.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something. The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbour. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise. Or you can find your badge, which honestly...
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months. I'm sure you will, Detective.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's...
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is...
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link. Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a... Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you. Yes? Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I suspect the traffic jam won't disperse for a few more days. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Yes?
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no. The door rattles again, but this time you.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside. The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No, I already told you. I won't be. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door? There must be another entrance to the east.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind? Ah, man, me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking.
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really...
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire. It's not a lie. It's something else. Impossible to say. What? Your best verse? You don't even have a bad verse in here. Just tumbleweed.
That's brutal, man. But you know...
No, stop. He's already mortified.
That's,
In the name of God, what are you doing?
Yeah, I get it. These are your rhymes. They're from your life. Doesn't matter if they're robust,
He's not lying. He lied.
Yes, and I also thank you for stopping. We have a drug investigation to return to. How about we do that?
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the...
Right to work! Shame on you!
A lorry stuck in the traffic.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Sorry. Busy surveying the situation. I'm sure you'll figure something out. You got wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery, or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right?
Because we don't. We don't have air support or any of those.
I get it. Hush hush about the secret technology. All right, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there, out of solidarity to the RCM. It's low in technology, however. First, don't fight him, obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically, grovel. That's how I do it. You're welcome.
Maybe that would work. We'll have to...
Race descent has only worsened since I last saw you.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic...
He had nothing to do with it.
Racist. I am not like them. You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered in the ravages of Al-Hul. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common. Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Rivasholians. Your parents and their parents. Don't be vulgar. White or not, Mr. Claire is a man of vision and means. Also, idiotic communism is the thing above all. Rampant multinational finance still offshore. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much.
Measurehead stoically looks to the distance in silence.
I think
that will be the...
That is understandable.
These cops are just jealous, Jean-Luc.
Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by failure, I always say.
He might have some advice, but you got to at least try to fight Measurehead first. Return if you fail.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss. I know nothing about a murder.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting.
Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive.
Right to work!
It's shameful. cops doing nothing. You should bring backup, open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for work.
We are not picking a side in this, just
Pity.
Let up!
Welcome to it.
Do continue. I know exactly, but you...
Silence. Your partner needs backup. Now's your...
Whatever you say, officers. Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my... You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage.
He eyes you wearily, unsure how to respond.
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will...
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some Kip boys smashed his... Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. It's a fucking travesty is what it is. Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass. The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Yeah, apples? I take it you had other questions? Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy. God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was... Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer's stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100...
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess so.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past?
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
Very sharp, officer. I'm Serais from the Seaguy province.
Apricot Suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words.
The Apricot Suzerainty is what the Seaguy archipelago is commonly known as in Revachol. It's a bit of a fraught term, I'm sure you understand.
No, apricots come from Seaguy. My grandma used to grow them. But Seaguy is a shithole. That's why I came to Revachol. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur?
Well, if it's for his grandma, you should buy a lot of things.
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But I am not a
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we did.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. I'm...
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with nothing. I told you. I'm not a
And what
crowd. You know, the drug.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
Look, there's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up. It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her.
It could be. He's not ruling her out.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now?
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoo?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on nothing. Her smile just keeps widening.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. Back in Mecca, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and cafes are filled with the young people. Until you came along, that is. I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall, while you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a...
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff? Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are not Gabriel. Gabriel doesn't say please.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather. Buckled.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now,
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence Franco Negro, which happened.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. The size is 37.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. Did you just call me a lady, Sheriff?
The woman's malevolent cackling fills the roundabout.
I'm a lady like you are Gabriel Buenguerro, only in dreams. I'm only terrifying to small children.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around? Oh, Sim. Did you just call me a lady, Sheriff?
The woman.
I'm a lady like you are Gabriel Buenguerro, only in dreams. I'm only
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
Oh, Sim. Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean. Then it's contraband, lawman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest.
Bad hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand strangled 300 people. What can I say?
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need...